Hello. In today's class, we are going to talk about the Freytag pyramid. This is one of the first topics that usually teachers discuss when they talk about fiction in their class. This Freytag pyramid, which is also known as the Freytag's model, is usually the structure of the plot. And this structure of the plot was defined by a German novelist and playwright. His name was Gustav Freytag. Now, what he did in this diagram or pyramid was that he divided the story into several parts according to the manner in which the story moves forward or progresses. So, usually in plays, there are five acts. So, he said that the first act corresponds to the exposition. The exposition, it comes from the word expose, to expose. And over here, basically, the reader is given an idea about the story. He or she is introduced to the various characters in the story, and basically whatever there is to know about the story and the characters is revealed by the writer in this particular part. And once all the introductions are dealt with, the story gradually starts moving forward, and that is known as rising action. Now the story is moving forward, and once it reaches a point, the writer introduces some type of complication, and this complication usually results because of a discovery. So, this discovery may be of any type. It may be a long lost secret, or the character's own identity, or the character's paternity, or any, secret that has been hidden for a while now finally comes to light. And this discovery is known as anagnorisis. And after that anagnorisis, quickly comes the climax. And this climax is known as the highest point of action. So, whatever the writer has been conveying through his story, the peak of the action where everyone is most hooked, at least that is the intention of the writer, and that is the climax. Soon after the climax, there is falling action, and this falling action takes place due to the reversal. And what is this reversal known as? The reversal is known as peripety. So, because of this peripety, there is reversal which takes place, and reversal results in falling action. So, the action which had been rising so far, post climax, that action starts falling. Now, the final part of the plot is known as denouement, and this denouement is called a resolution. Now, what happens is that there are several complications that arise in a story, and all these complications, conflicts, whether they are internal conflicts, external conflicts, they are all resolved by the end of the play or a novel. And once all these complications are resolved, it results in denouement. So, in a way, denouement can also be called the conclusion of the plot. So, Gustav Freytag has very clearly and very meticulously divided the story of the play or the novel into five parts: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement. And before and after the climax, immediately before the climax and immediately after the climax, there is complication and reversal. Now, this complication, another name for this complication is anagnorisis, and the reversal takes place due to peripety, right? So, discovery or anagnorisis results in complication, and reversal, another name for reversal is peripety. And finally, we have the denouement, which is the resolution. So this is the structure of a plot. This is the structure prescribed to us by Gustav Freytag. And whenever we study fiction, the fiction can be in any format. It may be a short story as well. There is little scope to experiment with the plot in a short story, but in a play and a full length novel, this is the structure of a plot. I hope this is clear to everyone. Please revise on your own, try and find out a little more about it. I'm sure you will be able to understand it better. Thank you.